So the interesting thing about what went on last week is, as I'm testifying on the Hill, who's across the way? Not literally, but Rod Rosenstein, the former Deputy Attorney General in the Trump Justice Department. He testified finally before the Senate on Obamagate, FISA-gate, Muellergate, Spygate, Russiagate, Hillarygate, Flynnegate, or any other gates I'm forgetting about. It's all worse than Watergate. That's all I know. So Lindsey Graham finally got the message that they want accountability, the American people do, for what went on. So they brought Mr. Rosenstein in. And you know what I think is very interesting? Virtually every document that Rosenstein was asked questions about, Judicial Watch had uncovered. We had already uncovered it. I mean, he's asked about the FISA warrants. Who uncovered the FISA warrants? Who got them out? Judicial Watch through litigation. He was asked about emails that he had sent and emails that were sent about his coup discussions with Andrew McCabe. Judicial Watch had disclosed those. He was asked about all sorts of other documents that Judicial Watch had uncovered about the FISA investigations, the FISA-gate abuses of President Trump, and Rosenstein's role in it, the appointment of Mueller, and how that all came about. Now, remember, Rod Rosenstein was acting Attorney General for purposes of the Russia investigation. Sessions wrongly recused himself from that, and he, as a result, Rod Rosenstein became the chief. Comey got fired by Trump. Comey leaked documents illegally about Trump from Trump's FBI file, and Rod panicked with Andrew McCabe and appointed Special Counsel Rob Mueller. And we all know the rest of the story. You had these illicit FISA warrants being signed, one of which was signed by Rod Rosenstein. He says he didn't read the document. Then he said he did read it. Then he said he was relying on others to get it all right. It's the FBI's fault. It's Andrew McCabe's fault. No one really asked him about why it is General Flynn was wrongly prosecuted by Mueller if he was doing such serious oversight of what Mueller was doing. So it was kind of a pretty much of a light touch for, pretty much it was there were no serious punches thrown at Rosenstein in terms of accountability. I mean, questioning is better. Some questioning is better than none. It's interesting. We had all these documents that we have gotten about Rosenstein and about that issue. And, Senate didn't ask me about it. They didn't ask Judicial Watch, hey, what should we be asking Rod Rosenstein? No, they just did it on their own. So needless to say, he was able to skate on a lot of key issues, like the appointment of Mueller, for instance, the electronic communication that opened up Crossfire Hurricane. Did he look at that original document that Judicial Watch had uncovered? No, of course not. I mean, he was questioned on the fraud FISA warrants uncovered by Judicial Watch, the Steele FBI payments uncovered by Judicial Watch. Remember, the FBI was paying Steele. His emails, again, uncovered by Judicial Watch. Weissman's emails, Mueller's top deputy's emails, uncovered by Judicial Watch. And of course, the Mueller memos on Trump that we had got through litigation as well. But not much in the way of a serious investigation of the actual coup. And what do I mean by the coup? I mean a discussion between McCabe and Rosenstein about three topics right after Comey was fired. Wearing a wire on the President of the United States, invoking the 25th Amendment wrongly to remove Trump, and appointing a special counsel to really harass and hound him, since there was no evidence of Russia collusion, as Mr. Rosenstein was forced to admit repeatedly. And he denied the discussion about the 25th Amendment, kind of semi-denied it, and I think blatantly denied it, or more explicitly denied the discussion about wearing a wire. But he wasn't cross-examined on it to any extent. In fact, the Democrat senator from Hawaii, Senator Inroe, was the one who asked the question. The Republicans didn't ask him the question. And they certainly didn't ask him about this document that Judicial Watch had obtained from Andrew McCabe's record. McCabe wrote what is called a contemporaneous memorandum about his discussion with Rosenstein about the effort to overthrow Trump. Now, I'm characterizing it that way, and they would obviously characterize it differently, but I'm pretty confident in my characterization. This is what McCabe wrote about what Rosenstein suggested. As our conversation continued, the DAG, Rosenstein, proposed that he could potentially wear a recording device into the Oval Office to collect additional evidence on the president's true intentions. He said he thought this might be possible because he was not searched when he entered the White House. I told him that I would discuss the opportunity with my investigative team and get back to him. We discussed the issue of appointing a special counsel to oversee the FBI's Russia investigation. The DAG said he had 2 candidates ready, one of whom could start immediately. Now, Judicial Watch's other emails show that he was secretly talking to Mueller and keeping it away from his boss, who he described yesterday as being Sessions, not Trump. Either way, it was inappropriate in my view. But you heard what McCabe said. Now, McCabe is not honest Andy, that's for sure. But this document sounds pretty darn persuasive to me, a contemporaneous document. Other testimony suggests the discussions took place by other people who don't really have a dog in the fight. They're talking about wearing a wire and spying on the president. You're talking about invoking the 25th Amendment. What's the 25th Amendment again? It's designed to provide for a transition of power when a president becomes infirm or incapable of performing his duties. It's not designed to remove a president because you don't like that he fired someone. You don't like how he exercised his core constitutional authority to fire a member of the executive branch. And then, of course, they had the discussions about Mueller. This is the coup. And Rosenstein was involved in it. I appreciate he testified to the Senate. Now, I see there's going to be more subpoenas to more witnesses, many of whom the Judicial Watch has exposed to the American people for their involvement in the targeting of Trump. Senator Johnson's committee, it looks like, is going to get on that. But Rosenstein should be testifying to a grand jury. I'll leave it up to you to conclude whether he should be a target or not, but at least he's a witness. He says he didn't know anything. McCabe says he knew everything. He was telling the truth. So I said, the seditious conspiracy. Tell you what, too many people in the FBI and the Justice Department were no better than the Antifa people trying to tear down the White House the other day. That's my view.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.